I need emergency assistance.
What's your location?
The Wind River Indian Reservation.
I'm Jane Banner, FBI.
Welcome to Wyoming. You by yourself?
It's just me.
That's Corey Lambert. He's the one who found the body.
This is a homicide.
I knew that girl. She's a fighter.
They have 6 officers to cover an area the size of Rhode Island. Maybe you can help.
I only know what the tracks say.
What is it that you do again?
I hunt predators.
So why don't you come hunt one for me then? Why would a teenage girl be out here? What is she running from?
You're looking for clues, but you're missing all the signs.
Shouldn't we wait for backup?
This isn't a land of backup, Jane. This is a land of you're on your own.
Oh my God.
You won't get the answers you're looking for, no matter what you find.
Why would your daughter run from home?
I don't know why. He didn't tell me.
Out here. You cannot blink. Not ever.
This place. What it takes from us. What it took from you.
I got lucky.
Luck lives in the city.
Get your hand off that weapon!
Luck don't live out here.
Another round of applause. Keep clapping.
Take the right seat.
I don't know.
I think you're fine. I think we can have the conversation either way.
You did take actually the right seat. Too.
Oh, great.
Guys, congratulations on this film. I loved it. I loved Taylor Sheridan's work, and I think you guys did an amazing job bringing this movie to life. Talk about working with him. I mean, had you seen Hell or High Water and Sicario, the 2 films that he wrote previously? This is his directorial debut. Before jumping on board with him, had you seen the films?
Yeah, I saw him. Didn't you see him?
I saw Sicario, Hell or High Water.
Yeah, it came out a little later, didn't it?
Yeah, what was still being made when I read the script. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
ended
it's
up
called-
seeing it, but
And then I saw it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Before we worked together.
You know, I saw him. This film takes place in Wyoming, and it's really about this Native American land that's in Wyoming. This landscape, and I saw him speak after the screening in Sundance, and it's not just a story for him. These are our people, and this is a land that he's really committed to and cares a lot about. Did he talk to you guys a lot about that before filming and during filming?
Well, I think it was exciting for him to have financiers who obviously helped fund the movie, who were part of the, it was I don't know exactly the technicalities, but it was from reservation funding, and we also had the chiefs of 2 of the different tribes, I would say. The Arapaho and the Shoshone. They supported our film all along the way. They'd visit set. They were at the Sundance premiere, so it was good to have their support when we're trying to tell a story about that takes place on their turf.
On the reservation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about your character, Jeremy. Character Corey Gardner, right? That's his name? Excuse me.
Corey Lambert, yeah.
Corey Lambert.
I think that's his last name, right? Yeah, he plays a hunter on the reservation, and pretty much the only white man that's really allowed to go on the reservation, work on the reservation.
He's a tracker, like a hunter tracker.
He's a hunter tracker, yeah, for some of the wildlife that eats their food and their stock, essentially. And he's had to deal with the tragedy in his past, and you find out kind of later on in the picture about it. And then the movie opens up with discovering a dead body as he's tracking a mountain lion, I believe. And that's when Elizabeth's character comes in as an FBI agent to help. We get teamed up together to help solve the murder.
Sort of a young rookie FBI agent. Did you do any research with the FBI? Did you talk to them about what a rookie FBI agent would sort of be like and how this would go for them? What?
No, I didn't. But I went through as much training as I could simulate. which was ended up being with a former law enforcement officer who was an LEO for 17 years, and doing some like martial arts with him as well, because I knew that grappling was something I had to figure out at some point if I were actually going to be a federal agent. But a lot of gun training, and then a lot of the gun training I did in Utah was with a former Green Beret who served 4 tours in Iraq. And so I think I got different kinds of perspectives, not specifically a federal agent's perspective. And I was okay with that because I still felt like I got the benefit of people who have had these experiences being my teachers, being a sponge to them, and going through the training and learning about what kind of temperament it takes and toughness, and I guess, or tried to learn that.
What kind of temperament do you feel like it takes?
Well, I think eventually what ends up happening is there's a jadedness that she doesn't have yet.
Yeah.
I believe that she's not a reactive person. She's like a very thoughtful type A person who's in control, and this isn't coming from a personal place. This is coming from a place of duty and a place of believing in the justice system.
Yeah, her lack of jadedness is sort of what propels the story forward for her.
For her to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else she would have done what she was supposed to do and just let the reservation take care of it, since it wasn't a homicide.
Jeremy, I feel like we've seen many films about FBI agents, and I don't think we've ever seen a film about a tracker on reservation land. Did you meet anybody who has this job, or talk to anybody?
Well, I mean, it's really just sort of what part of the job is, and the job ends up being really just sort of escapism for this man, and it's not something I ultimately had to research. I mean, the job of hunting and tracking was pretty easy enough for me to pick up. It was much more the emotional journey and keeping things authentic and keeping things, as truthful as we possibly could. The landscape helped with that to determine and limit, behavior and help us, tell our story.
What was it like shooting in this landscape?
I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, we're in Park City, or about an hour away from Park City, usually up in the canyons and or at elevation, and to me, it's beautiful. I love that kind of landscape. I love the snow and the tree. I mean, come on, we're on a snowmobile. It's fantastic. But it did prove to be challenging for our filmmakers. And I know for some of us, it was challenging for sure to get the things we need to get done every day. But ultimately, the takeaway was, I loved it, man.
You got some great Instagram photos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Elizabeth, what about you? How was it shooting out in this wilderness?
I think at the beginning I was pretty hesitant and freaked out because I've only had bad experiences in cold, high altitude of different ways my body gets sick and breaks down. So I was nervous about that. But then once I was there, I learned to love the snow, and I learned to love this kind of environment. I always loved like the mountains, so I really appreciated it. And again, what Jeremy was saying, it created this need for us to get things done as efficiently as possible, because we don't have trucks, we don't have cars, there are no roads. We're on snowmobiles and snowcats to get to set, and that's every crew member and every piece of equipment. So like anything you see here had to be hauled through a snowcat or a snowmobile to get up the mountain, and that has challenges, but it made us work efficiently and made us like have conversations that were always active and proactive, and it created a really incredible collaborative process.
Much different than on the Avengers set, where you guys can kind of work as at your leisure, I would imagine, for the most part.
Well,
or is that an incorrect assumption?
Yeah, it's not at your leisure, but it's a bigger system where you come in and you're filling in a piece, but they're all the 200, 300 person crew. They're working their tushies off to get things done. Tushies. Well, I don't know what I can say.
You can say what you want, but Tushy was kind of adorable, so let's stick with Tushy.
I don't think I can say that.
Grown men and women like working their tushies off. But then we come in and we're not like, oh, well, this isn't working for me. you just come in and they show you, you know, what's coming from there and what's coming from there, and you're reacting to that pretend thing, and you're like, okay, and then you just do it.
We had trailers too on Avengers stuff, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We
Yeah,
have
this one
trailers.
where we just like would hang out in the snowmobile and just wait for the next shot or thing.
Yeah, we'd hang out in
or we'd
the
go drive around the
snowcat,
snowmobile. Yeah. You'd make snow angels sometimes.
Well, once, yeah.
Yeah,
I
one
think I was
time.
just like really
You got
frustrated
comfortable.
that day, and then they wrapped me, and I was like, ah.
No trailers though, just snowmobiles.
No, you
Yeah.
can't get a trailer up there.
No. Yeah, or sometimes we can just hang out in my truck, eat some beef jerky,
Yeah.
You were really getting into
sunflower
character.
seeds. Well, it's pretty much all we.
That's just what- that's
what was
what
left.
Jeremy
Yeah,
is.
we ate the props. That's right. Yeah.
No, it's a rarity, I think, if ever, that we see. I think on one hand, I could probably count the movies that have been made about reservation land or sort of about Native Americans after we had the sort of offensive cowboys and Indians period of Hollywood. Sure. What did you first think when you got the script? It is a film that is so steeped in this land and cares so much about it and what America has done and continues to do to it.
Yeah, I mean, atrocities have been happening for, so dang long, since, the beginnings of this land, it's like unbelievable. And, but the modern sort of, you can take, cowboy sort of film, and this is sort of a modern sort of take on that sort of, and I think when you get a look into the bleak world and difficult sort of conditions that, indigenous people are living in, I think it's a fresh take on something that's always been there, and there's new challenges that obviously like with federal agents coming in the land and that sort of thing. There's a lot of difficulties what's happening there, and I just think it's a great fresh sort of way to tell a story.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some wolves in the film. A wonderful sequence at the top of the film with wolves, a beautiful metaphor for what's sort of about to happen within the film. Your character's tracking wolves. Did you have to get near any wolves? Did you have some fun with some wolves?
Yeah, coyotes.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Look, I live in the city. I don't know.
Coyote.
They're yeah.
I live in LA where
much
coyotes
smaller.
exist. I don't think I've ever seen a coyote.
Yeah, we got to hang around some wildlife. I think there's
There's
there's Jack the buffalo. I don't know if he made it in the movie.
Buffalo did not make
Yeah,
the movie.
he likes
but
Cheerios,
was
the buffalo.
huge.
You had a buffalo that you were
Yeah,
feeding
yeah,
Cheerios?
Buffalo Jack.
And we had a
He likes
huge
Cheerios.
eagle as well.
It wasn't really an eagle though. It was kind of like a
What was
version. Yeah, some kind of a.
Aha.
It's a strange hawk. And there's Penny, the porcupine.
Then there's the porcupine.
Named
And
Penny.
we brought in some fun animals who
Yeah.
had like homes to go to afterwards.
Yeah, apparently.
So this extremely tense, sort of thrilling film you guys had a lot of fun on set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but it is what's fun to like. We
did.
had fun, like we enjoyed each other's company. But I think what makes work fun is when you feel like you're
The
getting
challenges, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all working together to overcome the obstacles of whether it's the snow or whatever the heck it is, or part of the scene. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Is it a rarity on a film set that you really feel like a part of a full team that's coming together to overcome obstacles like this? I mean, when you have someone like Taylor Sheridan, who's a great writer and is really, really dedicated to this material, does that sort of help boost confidence and getting everybody together as a team?
For me, it changes from project to project.
Sure. Yeah, but I think having the writer and director being the same guy, and also just
And inviting them.
being the guy that he is, and trust is the first thing that it started with us trusting him trusting us trusting each other, and then really then our DP Ben Richardson is tremendous, and our crew. So we're all telling the same story together, and everybody's in it together, and that's a great feeling. It feels like a really great solid team effort.
How did it get to the both? Because obviously the two of you are in the Avengers movies together. Did it have anything to do with your sort of partnership in those movies, bringing you onto this one, or was it kind of random?
Well, I signed on without Jeremy about a year before.
Yeah.
And then we had some scheduling problems and needed to film that winter, and Taylor wanted to film that winter. And when Taylor said Jeremy's name, it was kind of like an obvious, like this is exactly how it should be. These are the reason why certain things fall apart for this purpose, for the right thing to happen. And So Jeremy got this script about a month before we started shooting, or a couple months. Yeah.
Quick decision for you then, a month.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that tough when you sign on to a movie a month before it starts shooting? Does that add a certain amount of stress to you? Or
No, I was really excited, man. This is something that, again, get to work with Lizzie again, but in a very real way. And then I was very excited about the challenges that the character is going to bring. And then Taylor, who I fell in love with, because of his emotional intelligence, his strength, and his writing is fantastic. And he's also a father, like I am. So, yeah, man, I couldn't wait to go to work. Didn't want it to end, actually.
his films, both this and the two that he wrote before this, are steeped in noir. I mean, they're cowboy, like you said. There's a sort of neo take on the cowboys, but it's also very much a noir procedural in a wonderful way. It sticks to the genre, but does a lot of new things with it. Was that something that excited you guys as well, making a genre film that had a completely different sort of world that it was set in?
I don't think I thought of it from like a genre perspective. I think it was no, it was the story that was being told, and I was fascinated by telling a story about life on a reservation when these are apparently my neighbors who I know nothing about, and I know nothing about the jurisdiction between the law that I'm supposed to follow and the reservation versus federal law. It's almost like a system that's like set up to fail. Not almost.
A system
it is
set
a
up
system.
to deplete them of resources,
Yeah.
and then criticize them when they don't act or behave the certain way that we deem to be upstanding in the society, but we haven't given
Exactly.
them the resources to do so. We
Right.
take them away.
Right. And I think that was the story I wanted to be a part of beyond just, character aside.
Yeah, I guess that has that noir thing in the sense of steeped in a lot of character, I suppose. Not so much it being like just a program or thriller. You know what I mean? It's so steeped in character and human behavior, and it has a gravitas because of the weight, and it's based on actual events and true events that are happening still right now as we speak. And so it didn't have like sort of like you can put your thumb on it. But it does have that thing that chugs it along. That's got that thrilling sort of snap to it. But didn't read that way to me as far as what drove the picture. What drove the picture was the story and the heart behind it.
When I mean it as a compliment when I say noir. I mean, noir is probably my favorite genre, and when someone does it well, it becomes steeped in character and it becomes steeped in meaning. The best noir is sort of taking those things that chug a plot along and making them all have much deeper meaning than you would ever expect them to have.
Yeah, correct.
Let's get some questions from the audience. Who has a question? This guy has a microphone. He's about to talk.
Where'd you get that, buddy?
Hey guys, can't wait to see the movie. I was just wondering, like getting to work on something as big as Marvel, like do you see any differences in like how you guys are able to like tackle a story like between that and Wind River?
The differences, I feel like it's a bit more collaborative, I suppose, on a smaller picture like this. I think there's a lot of players in that Marvel world, especially on the filmmaking side. I mean, there's still 2 directors directing the dang thing right now. The Brewster brothers were amazing. There's a lot. The stories are, I can't even figure out all that's going on in Infinity
you
Wars.
all that's going
Yeah, we know. Yeah, and then the VFX part of filmmaking. I have no idea what's happening, what they're doing, and who are actually fighting against half the time. So we don't. It's true. Well, that's an alien, or that's a ship I'm shooting. What am I doing? But it's so that part of it, you're kind of left in the dust as far as like contributing as much as you possibly want to or can contribute in the Marvel world. But which is nothing wrong with that. It's just I think way too much responsibility for her and I or any cast member to contribute. But in these smaller films,
Yeah, but I do think the goal is to like take care of your corner in Marvel, like which is your character and how your character relates.
I'll just
to the
focus
other
on Scarlet
characters.
Witch, and that's
what?
it. Scarlet Witch, right?
Yeah, my character, Scarlet Witch.
That's right.
That's who I play.
That's right.
And he's Hawkeye. But I think that's what you're in control of, and you do still try and root it and ground it and find like the truth in what you're provided, which could be 3 sentences to try and find the heart of the entire story of your character. And we have we have so many opportunities to get to have those conversations working on a film like this, especially together. But,
Correct.
and so it's different.
It's so different.
So it's different.
So cool. It's amazing.
Let's get another question
Really
right here.
fun.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm such a big fan of both of your work. I think you're both like really beautiful, honest actors, and I love watching you both. And I was kind of wondering, how do you pick the projects that you end up doing?
I just do whatever she's doing.
It's a good, funny answer. How to follow that?
What do you got?
I don't know. I think it changes. I think it depends on what I did last. I think it depends on what's bothering me in society or what's intriguing to me. Yeah, I don't. I think it changes, but consistently it's about this script first and the filmmaker who's going to make it, seeing if there's something that I can add to it, being a part of it. Is there something that I care in my gut? There's a reason to do it, and then try and see the bigger picture of who are all the people behind it. Is the creative control gonna stay with the person whose trust you're gonna put your trust in him or her? So I think those are the things I think about, and then he just follows my lead because I'm so smart.
He's got good taste. You have good instincts.
He forgot to
It's
do his
working
cameo
out.
in Ingrid Goes West, though.
It's working out. So, does everybody here work here? Or you plug people?
People coming in, but we hand them
Street.
microphones while you guys are talking.
Oh, okay. Just curious. There's a bus or something that you guys are filing on.
I think we have time for one more question.
Hi.
Hey.
I see there's like a lot of firearms in this movie, and I was just curious, who's the better shooter?
We never went to the range together, did we?
You should probably
Maybe
just
once?
punt that to me on this one.
Punt.
No, she is. She's actually from a woman that was terrified of a gun,
Of a fake gun.
of a fake gun, and moved on to like a airsoft gun, and then moved on to live rounds and shooting like 1,000 rounds a day. She got really, really good with a handgun. I was super impressed. Not that means anything, but I was really impressed.
Well, I can't handle a rifle. That has a lot of kickback, right? The gun that you were shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would just bruise me.
Yeah, you don't.
Shooting a rifle? I thought you had it was kickback. Was that a rifle or was it a shotgun?
No, it's a rifle. It's a lever pull rifle. Yeah, yeah. I didn't have a bow and arrow in this movie. No.
Only on the weekends for his character. Yeah. Just for sport.
Yeah.
Guys, I love the film. Congratulations. There's so many reasons to see this film. There's wonderful gun work in it, an incredible shootout. And without giving anything away, you guys have an amazing scene at the end of the film together that is so beautiful and well performed. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
It opens this Friday, right, in select cities,
Yeah.
and then it'll be expanding in the weeks following. So guys,
True.
Wind River, go see it. Thank you so much,
go
guys.
see it.
Thank you, guys.